All right, here we are. Greenwich. The store of this Mr. Huntington has to be somewhere around here. This store offers French delicatessen. Here in Greenwich, almost everybody is an artist or an intellectual. And as it seems, they're not short on money. A tiny club. I think I've been here before, with some of my co-workers. Yep, McDougal Street. I found it. Nice, but that's not the house I'm looking for. Some of these things we had when we were kids. Unbelievable how fast all of this becomes outdated. It's unlocked. Fine, but voila, an antique shop. And as it looks, the only one in the street. A bunch of old stuff. Even though it's charming, it's also pretty expensive. Locked. Rather dark in here. Where's the owner? There's a sign on the floor. Looks as if it fell off. A piece of thread from Mr. Oswald's bag. That's the wire I took down from the strange totem of that guru. A nice little fishing rod, almost done. The magnet from the office flip chart. Nobody will miss it. You have dozens of these. Let's see what's written on it. There, a messenger number. That will help me out.
Huntington Antiques.
Good afternoon, Mr. Huntington. Are you open for business?
Of course.
But the door is closed. Would you mind to open the door for me?
What do you want exactly?
Well, take a look around. Maybe buy something. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, I'll open up for you.
There you are. Good afternoon. Great that it all worked out this time.
Come in, young man.
Thank you. A globe. Relic from a time when the world was still in order. On second thought, there's probably not much difference. These are pigeons. Unbelievable. I don't believe it. He keeps pigeons in here. Hopefully the old guy knows what he's doing here. He has books here that are listed on the Print Crime Index. Oh my gosh. What is that thing? The cash register? I guess I can't pay with a messenger here.
Now, son, what can I do for you?
As I mentioned, I would like to look around a bit. Really a great store that you have here.
Well, things have accumulated over the years.
I've never been in a shop like yours before. It's fascinating. Makes you feel like you want to move in immediately. Oh, by the way, I'm Peter. Peter Wright.
Nice to meet you, Peter. Please, make yourself at home.
Let me ask you, would you mind to tell me a little bit about your shop? Everywhere you look around here, it seems to breathe interesting stories.
If you like, please. I don't have much company here, and most young people aren't at all interested in old things. They just want consoles, telescreens, well, you know, whatever is trendy these days.
Yeah, of course. And I have to admit I have a telescreen myself. I hope I can stay anyway.
Of course you can.
Where did you get all these things from?
Oh, well, from a lot of different places. I get things from house clearances, from other dealers, stuff people chuck out. Sometimes people come in with family heirlooms. A few things are from my own family.
Some of them look pretty European.
Oh, yes. I used to import a lot from Europe. The antiques market is, of course, a lot bigger there. And pieces are cheaper, too.
I bet it took forever to collect all these things.
I've spent my whole life doing it.
Why do you keep pigeons in here?
Why do you ask that?
Just like that, because I was curious. I mean, it's actually not exactly common to keep pigeons in closed rooms, especially not in an antique shop.
Well, yes, you're probably right. Let's just say they're my hobby.
I would say it's really pretty unusual that someone keeps pigeons in his place of business. Wouldn't you say?
They're practical, and they're company.
What could be practical about this?
They're carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons? Seriously? You really send your mail through pigeons? Are you serious?
Only that way.
That is absolutely unbelievable. My grandfather told me about his carrier pigeons, but that was 30 years ago.
Today they're worth more than ever.
But carrier pigeons are really slow, and I mean there are 1,000 other ways to communicate.
But no other way is as safe. Whatever I send by carrier pigeons cannot be read in any computer, and it will not go into any archive.
Oh, I understand. You're worried that someone could invade your privacy.
Don't you?
I'm not quite sure. I would like to think that the security standards are pretty high everywhere. You just have to watch out who you let get into your private stuff.
Security? For who?
For us. For you and me. For everybody. My neighbor can't snoop through my mailbox. It works as good as a real mailbox would.
So then, why must carrier pigeons be reported?
Carrier pigeons have to be reported?
Certainly. It's been like that for the last 15 years.
Well, please don't get me wrong, but you could use them to conduct illegal communication, and that's not in the interest of the communal safety.
So, my privacy threatens communal safety. Is that it?
Depending on the circumstances, yeah. Any offense wouldn't be a private matter, would it? There's always a compromise.
That sort of safety I can do without. And that sort of compromise, too.
And that's not only your decision alone. That's why we have laws. And they serve us all.
Well, they don't serve me. I use pigeons.
Don't get me wrong, Mr. Huntington, but bug-proofed carrier pigeons and so on. That sounds to me just a wee bit paranoid. Do you really feel persecuted?
Oh, persecuted isn't a nice word. Let's just say I have my own views about the world.
But it must be pretty strenuous to permanently live with that kind of fear.
Oh, yes. Tell me, have you ever heard of the NSA, Peter?
Here and there, but they don't exist anymore. For almost 30 years now.
Do you know of the Echelon program, dating back to 1990?
1900 when? No, sorry, I don't.
Well, you see, I know about it. And you can be sure that I've been watching very closely. Very closely.
Yeah, well, that is all very nice. After all, it's your life.
And yours.
there is something else. Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
Isn't it illegal to sell these printed books?
Maybe.
These books are not scanned, right?
I'm of the opinion that non-scanned books are just as interesting as scanned ones, if not even more interesting.
But this way, these books are not really available to everybody. That way you make information, once again, private property. It becomes luxury for privileged people only. The law about the electronic gathering of printed material is supposed to
democratize the written word. Is that what you mean?
But of course, that's how it actually is. Actually, you would have to turn these books into the Department of Communications so they can get scanned. Afterwards, you will actually get them back.
Nobody has ever gotten books back from the Department of Communications, and not even a tenth of the books have appeared online.
Yeah, well, that's because it will take some time until everything will be fed into the system. As time goes by, there are just more and more editions, so we have to have a little patience.
It's rather astounding how effective this propaganda still is. The law on electronic registration is a censorship measure, disguised as democratization of information, my son.
You're serious about this, aren't you?
Don't let yourself be deceived by the lies on the telescreens and the cheap slogans of the dumb yuppies and the communication agencies. Yes?
No, it's okay.
I'm keeping hold of my books in any case. You can read them anytime you want, here and now.
I have to go. I'll see you later.
Okay. See you soon, Mr. Wright.
War of the Worlds by Orson Welles. Gonna get it. Mr. Huntington, I'm interested in this radio play. Unfortunately, I don't have any cash left, only my messenger. I'll come back later and bring cash with me, okay?
Okay.
Hey, a VCR. Late 20th century, I would guess. I bet I can use this thing to watch Mr. Oswald's tape. Mr. Huntington, I would like to take this VCR with me. I'll pay for it as soon as I've had the chance to get some cash, okay?
Okay.
A VCR, the top achievement of modern mag-tape technique. But it still looks as if it works. To watch this mysterious tape, it'll do. What's that? This door has been secured with several locks. Mr. Huntington, it's me again. I would like to get back to our earlier conversation. Let me ask you, would you mind to tell me a little bit about your shop? How long have you had this shop?
I started in 2018 with a shop in the Lower East Side. Back then it was still a decent place, you know. In 2032 I had to move because the government had ordered the restructuring of the area.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Since then, the shop has been here. I've redesigned it to look exactly as it was on the Lower East Side.
Did you get a chance recently to take a look around the Lower East Side?
Oh yes, I was there a couple of years ago. Terrible. The whole area's fallen apart. The houses look like something out of Europe just after the Second World War. And the only people in the streets are criminals. It's a tragedy what they did to that part of the city.
Do you have many customers? I would assume that especially here in Greenwich, you should have a potentially well-off clientele.
What makes you think that? I sell almost nothing. But that's not important. I have the things I love around me. What use would they be in the sterile apartment of some yuppie who has no sense for the soul of things?
Oh, I understand. But how do you manage to get by then? And besides, this shop is costing you money as well.
The house belongs to me. The government bureaucrats were kind enough to give it to me in exchange for my departure from the Lower East Side.
Tell me, where does this door lead to? Back there. I'm talking about the one with these locks on it.
It's private.
Ah, okay. I understand.
Good.
But why does this door have so many of them? Locks, that is. Did someone try to break in here already?
Let's say I'm a cautious man, and I'm protective of my privacy.
You really live back there?
It's a little rude to ask so many questions, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, of course. You are right, sorry. Can I ask you something else?
Of course, just ask.
Please, tell me something about yourself. What is it that fascinates you about antiques?
They have a history. They are history. They are the survivors. They can tell us about other times. The things here in this shop are not simply what they are. They aren't just objects that take up space in a room. They are what they represent, what they are linked to. Memories, feelings, thoughts. They are like an archive of what our lives were like.
Maybe sometimes we don't really want to know what the essence of our life once was. Sometimes it's better to forget certain things.
I think it's those things that we would rather forget that are really worth remembering.
But it could also break you, living only in the good old times.
And it can destroy you to live without any memories.
May I ask you how old you are?
I'm 64. Year of birth, 1980.
That means you don't have any children?
No, Anna couldn't have children.
Oh, but the cloning procedure was already known, wasn't it? Did you never consider...
Well, yes, we spoke about it. But I didn't want technology to be the father of my child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand quite well.
Do you have a cloned child?
No, I have a son who's not cloned. A natural child. My wife carried him for 9 months. Everything just the natural way.
That's nice. You must be proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely am.
Do you have a picture?
I don't have one with me, but he is really a very nice boy.
Yes, I'm sure that he is. A child always has a place in the heart of his parents.
You are absolutely right. How did you celebrate the Union?
Oh, it was a big, beautiful dream of freedom and prosperity. Unity and peace. We believed all of it. Everything. When President White announced the first Union, people danced in the streets.
Well, it proved itself to be sturdy, didn't it?
You can say that. It has become overwhelmingly powerful.
Who would want to attack it anyway? Besides a few Luddites, maybe.
Nobody's dancing in the streets anymore.
People are content. They don't dance, but they don't complain either. What else do we want?
Yes. What more can we ask for?
I have to go. I'll see you later.
Okay. See you soon, Mr. Wright.